I'll go to the mover of the motion to close debate, the honourable member from Mermaid Stratford, and the opposition, House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank everybody who has spoken to this motion, who has stayed and listened to everything that has been said in this House. I want to thank the paramedics who I know are tuning in and as well here. I know that you have to be in a pretty serious situation in order to reach out to the extent that they are. And I thank the honourable member for pointing out that it does take a huge amount of trust to reach out and to share things that you know could put you in a very precarious position. And I appreciate and I hold that dear, because I know that I'm very fortunate that that is the case. So I want to share with you what I've heard directly from paramedics. And it's not just one or two, it is a whole network that are trying to improve the system for all islanders. And it's not because, you know, they need better health care. It's because they know their families live on this province, and they want to ensure that their friends and their neighbors all get the care that they so much want to give. They love their job. They love going to their job. They love caring for the islanders that are behind those doors when they arrive. They love their colleagues. I've never seen such a group of colleagues that just depend on each other so much and rely on each other so much and hold each other to such regard. And Mr. Speaker, they want to retire doing what they love, but many of them find it hard to see that, to envision that, especially with the state of the environment today. The only thing that every paramedic that has reached out to me has said that they don't love, Mr. Speaker, is that how they are being treated by the employer. It's the unfair wages. It's the inability to get vacation time. It's the rejection of using their bank time. Frankly, it's the blatant lies that are in the media, because when they are not supported in the media, when they arrive at people's homes, it's them who are public-facing and have to deal with the concern of the family members that are there. I've also had a paramedic arrive at my home, and when my dad was at the worst, and I got to see what it looked like in that back hallway at the hospital. I've never seen anything like it. 5 ambulances sitting there, and their hands are tied because they know calls are coming in and they can't respond. The extreme overtime, gosh, like, you know, we heard in the media, will give you double time. Some are being offered triple time to take the overtime. But then they also know that they're missing the time with their families. They're missing birthday parties. They can't go to the hockey games. They can't go see the concerts, because they're there to serve islanders, and they're doing it every single day, every single one of them. And we have the best paramedics here in this province. And I just want, and my colleagues just want, to see them treated better and to get the respect that they deserve in their workplace. It's been mentioned a couple times in this debate that making paramedicine public on PEI won't solve the problem. And that's right, Mr. Speaker. It won't solve the problem, because there's no easy fix to the problem. It has taken us years to get into this mess, and it will take us years to get out of it. What public paramedicine will allow us to do is take back control of the situation and start the work to improve our paramedic services for both paramedics and islanders in general. Public paramedicine would mean that we, the people who represent islanders, could work directly with paramedics without the middleman, and we can decide what is best for all Islanders. That's what we're elected to do. We could ensure our paramedics are treated fairly and with the respect that they deserve. As opposition, we hold this government to account if they don't do this. But that is not easy to do under a private system. Mr. Speaker, this is why as Canadians, we unanimously love our public healthcare system. It is our pride and joy. We talk about it all over the world. Does it have to be? It does have its own issues. Of course it does. But public means accountability. Public means fair treatment. Public means that you are entitled to the same health care and safety if you live downtown Charlottetown or if you live in Tignish. We just need to look south of the border to see how unfair and un-Canadian private health care truly is. The official opposition believes in public health care, Mr. Speaker, and all that it stands for. We believe that Islanders deserve emergency, primary, and preventative care regardless of where we live. Can this be accomplished by a private provider? Yes, but the reality is, under Medivy, it's not. And it is too important for us to turn a blind eye and not work to fix it. The minister stood in the House and talked about we all should get the health care regardless of where we live. But the reality is it's not happening right now. I want to remind the minister that just last week my colleague from Tignish Palmer Road shared a message from a widow who confirmed that that's not the case. This does matter. It matters to paramedics, it matters to Islanders, and it matters to me. And I really do hope that we get support on this motion. I'm sure we don't know how it's going to work right now, but that's why we're calling for a strategic plan to get us there that engages paramedics so that we can see what their day is like and what they need. I've heard from lots of paramedics, Mr. Speaker, that are in favor of moving it to private. I've heard from a lot of retired paramedics who say at 45 years old, I should be in those trucks, but I can't be. And that's not their choice. There's a term that they've told me, which is called Medivy refugees, which means that they are out of working in the career that they loved long before their time. They don't choose to leave the province. They want to work in this healthcare system, but it's not a place that they can be, and they have to leave. And I'll be frank, you can't have any other choice to work as a paramedic in this province unless you work for Medivy. It's your only option. You can't even come from another province and maintain your license because the legislation gives Medivy the monopoly, and we allow that. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm hearing loud and clear from paramedics that they need something systematically different, not just an auto renewal of a contract that the minister can't even speak to on many clauses. They need us to go through it. They need us to care about what's written in that contract, because they know every day when they're in the field that if they do not have the support of us and the province, it makes it extremely difficult for them to do the jobs that is so difficult to do. I challenge any one of us in this room to be as brave as those people are that are out there answering those 911 calls every single day. It's easy for us to sit in here and say, oh, I don't think it'll work. But we're not listening to them. Speaking to students is not telling you what the lived experience of paramedics is. You're never going to retain paramedics if you don't actually believe, and if you don't actually take the initiative to go out and talk to them, because that's who matters in this situation. Because they need our support to be able to go out and take care of our families and our neighbors and our kids and everybody every single day, because that's what they do. Mr. Speaker, I won't stop until I see changes to ensure that they are supported and that they get the change that they desperately need so that they can go to work and live a healthy life and do what they need to do every single day because we're depending on them. And I thank every single paramedic that is out there that is working so hard and working through this and sticking with us and hoping that finally this will be the time that there will be change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.